Good morning. I was in the process of typing up instructions as to how to access your MS365 accounts through email, and those instructions got very convoluted, so I thought it might be easiest if I just create a video that shows you how to do this. So, when and who will be using an in-private browser? So, anyone who is sitting at the service desk or anyone who is sitting at the drive-through computer will need to be able to access their accounts through an in-private browser. If they're choosing to email through frederickcountymd.gov, or if they need to access files through fcpl.org. So the other time that would come into play would be if you are a staff member who does not have a computer directly assigned to you. So I believe the 3 shelving computers in the back don't have anyone assigned to them. We log into those with either the TRL-lib or TH-lib login. And so if you sit down at those computers as well, you would also need to use a private browser. So how do we get to a private browser? MS365 is a Microsoft product, so it prefers other Microsoft products to work with. That means it does prefer Edge, but at the end of the video, I'll show you how you can actually have 2 private browsers open for 2 separate accounts. So we're going to start, though, for the purposes of this video, we are going to use Microsoft Edge. You're going to open Microsoft Edge, and then in the upper right-hand corner, you're going to click on these 3 dots. And then you just simply navigate to the choice that says New in Private Window. You'll know this is an in-private window because the screen has gone dark. And then across the top, obviously, it says In Private Browsing. So you can, across the top of the search bar, you're just going to type in MS365. Then, because it is a private browser, it is often the very top option. If you were to try and do this with a traditional browser that is not private, there is usually an ad at the top that is not Office 365. So you can choose this one would be fine, or this login down here. You're just going to click on either one of those. And then it says, you get the welcome page, and it's going to ask you to sign in. From here, you just type in your fcpl.org account, and you're going to click Next. Now you can tell you are at Frederick County Public Library's MS365 mainframe, because not only does we have our logo here, but you can see this picture of Sieber Arts in the background. And so then you enter your password for your fcpl.org account, and you click Sign In. It's going to ask you if you want to stay signed in. Because it's a private browser, it doesn't matter what you pick. As soon as the browser is closed, you would not be able to automatically log back in. But just for fun, I'm going to click Do Not Show This Again. It'll still pop up the next time, and I'm going to click No. Here we are. This is Microsoft 365. There are some things along this left side I don't think you can see because of the way this recording software records the page. Also here you can see if I click on this, it tells me that it's Betsy.Brannon. You can see there's a picture of me with a bird, I guess. And so you know that this is your account. Also, you get this little fun Frederick County Public Libraries here at the top. So then there are lots of files that I have uploaded already to my own personal fcpl.org account. And so you can see some of these here. And I can open them and edit them however I want to. So I can click on these dots, I can open it, I can share it, I can download it. But it's kind of just resting in here. So if I open it, it takes me to some telephone number that I have been, a page that I have been creating. So you can kind of see all of that information there. which is really, really nice. And then unfortunately you can't see it, but just off the screen to the left here is a little hamburger menu. There we go. And it gives you all of the different apps that you can look at. So I can go back to the page we were at by clicking on that Microsoft 365. And we're back here. So this is the home. This is, you can kind of see it, I know. The next one is create. So if I wanted to create a new spreadsheet or a new Word document, that's what I could click on. My content, this will give you either tiles or little pictures of everything you've put on your fcpl.org account. Feed, I've honestly never played with this, so I'm not going to click on it. And then apps. So apps come into play as we move into Teams. So you would click on apps and you can see here there's lots of different options here for apps. So there's Teams, which is going to become very important. Of course, the traditional Word and Excel and PowerPoint, and then of course Outlook. Now, this is our fcpl.org account and we are not using fcpl.org for email. So this is not really relevant for the purposes of using fcpl.org. But that is how you access a private browser. So let's say you go, it's your time at the desk and it's slow and you want to work on maybe a PowerPoint slide for a meeting. And so you can do all that work, you can do all that work in fcpl.org. And then let's say you're like, well, I'm done that, but I also need to send some emails. You can leave this up on your screen for fcpl.org. All right. It can get tricky because if you're trying to work through two browsers, you want to make sure you're always emailing from the frederickcountymd.gov. So I will say that I often just completely log out and do not use a dual browser, which if you are interested in learning how to use a dual browser, I can show you that. But to sign out, and it's going to say, hang on a moment while we sign you out. And then it's going to suggest that you close all of your windows. So I'm going to go up here into the right corner. You can't see, and I'm just going to click on the X and close that out. Now it takes me back to the regular browser. So now I'm going to open up an in private browser for my email. I'm doing the same exact thing I did last time, but this time we're going to go to our email. And up here it is right here. Now you will know you were at your email because you have our Frederick County government logo and a beautiful picture of Winchester Hall in the background. I'm going to type in my password for my Frederick County MD.gov account and sign in. Here we go. So now, if I wanted to email, the easiest thing I can do would be to go to Apps and then pick Outlook. Here we go. And you are at your Outlook account. So up in the right corner, this is my library picture that they had us upload. And so now I'm at my email. And again, I can sign out. I can go right back into my FCPL account because it's a private browser. It doesn't save any of that information. What we need to move away from at the service desks is using these apps at the bottom. So sometimes when I get to the desk, I will click on this app here that takes you to your email, and it's trying to log me in to somebody who has previously logged in under that app. So the only account that should be logged in on the service desks, multi-use desks, is the thermot@fcpl.org. And that will come into play as we move into Teams in January. But for now, I hope this helps you become comfortable with opening private browsing windows so that you can start to move your stuff from the L drive to your personal accounts. All right. It will also show you, since we're here, if we click on this and we click on L drive here at the bottom, you can see there are very few branches remaining: Walkersville, Thurmont, Emmitsburg, and Arts. Everybody else has moved completely off of the L drive. So in the Thurmont folder, we have a lot. If it is something that is in your folder and you do not want it, you can move it into this Do Not Move folder. If it is something that you want everyone to have access to, displays is a good example, you will want to put it in this Thurmont SharePoint folder. And then Donnie or I will be moving it to the Thurmont SharePoint account. Shelvers, I would definitely speak with Claire to see where she would prefer you put your shelving logs. You can certainly put them in your SharePoint and share them with her, or you can put them in the Thurmont one and then everybody would just have access to them. It just depends on what you and Claire decide. All right, so I think that is it for today, and I hope this helps everybody out.